Hi guys, Maikeru here. This is the Quest for Survival Hardcore Ironman series and we're on episode 31 now. In this episode we get overloads. Not gonna lie, herb lore on a hardcore Ironman is very annoying to do, but we got there in the end. So let's get into this video. Starting the video off with 90 fletching. My fletching is going up slowly but surely just because every time I have to AFK I have maple logs and magic logs and stuff like that I can fletch, so I'll be able to get 99 fletching eventually just from AFKing while doing videos and things like that. I did Eyes of Glothry, Path of Glothry, and Prisoner of Glothry. The reason why I done these three quests is because the Tranwin medium tasks require all three of them done. I need the Tranwin mediums because that makes me not have to bait Grenwall traps, and I'm not going to be doing crystallized Grenwalls while having to bait the traps, so I needed to get these done. Crystallizing Grenwalls will give me the Grenwall spikes I need for herb lore for extreme range-ins. Either way, once I've done those three quests, the Prisoner of Glothry actually got me to 91 agility as well, which is pretty damn neat. I went back to Hellweird to do 2 hours with my friend for some more Lanterdimes and another chance at getting that wand or a crest. I have loads of dormant animacore now and I really need a crest. I have the dormant animacore legs, which means I could just chuck the crest on there and upgrade my lunar ones and it would be the perfect upgrade. But Hellweird really doesn't like me and always wants to give me dormant animacore. Dormant animacore every time. I just wish this curse would go away. To be honest, duo Hellweird is pretty damn chill. There's not much risk of me dying at all. You can get the occasional part where he puts like 3 mushrooms on top of you like this, but if you just surge away, it's nice and easy to get out of there. Soul Split then slowly takes you back up. With someone else tanking, it really takes a load off of me. So now, while I have really low tier gear, having someone help tank is really useful, but then when I get the higher gear, I'll be able to solo myself. Keeping up with my farm runs, I got to 88 farming from this tree run and I'm making sure to do as many herb runs as I can alongside mushrooms. Using up all of the different herbs that I have obtained, I got to 90 herb lore, which then means I can use my god banner to boost for extreme range-ins. Because I had the level for extreme range-ins, I completed the medium task for Tranwin and got the Tranwin quiver too, which means I don't have to bait Grenwall traps anymore. And it also gave me a couple of small experience lamps to put into herb lore. I didn't want to miss out on the 20% more experience, so I started making some hunter urns. Obviously it's just turning the soft clay into urns and then firing them. Nice and easy stuff. You need mud runes to add to the hunter urn, so I just went to the mud altar with all of my pouches and everything like that, and I made around 1,000 mud runes just so I have enough and I've stocked up for a good while. It's really nice that urns stack now because you could just go into the bank, pull out urns, add the rune, go into the bank, pull out urns, add the rune, etc. Plus, while actually doing hunter, if the urns didn't stack, you're going to use them up so quickly it wouldn't even be worth it. Crystallizing Grenwalls isn't even that bad, to be honest. It's kind of annoying sometimes when your trap falls down in the middle of a crystallize, but that only happens here and there. Normally it's okay. It's super fast experience, especially at my level. Gonna get some easy hunter gains, but it uses up a lot of soul runes, so I'm gonna do hunter until I run out of soul runes. Hopefully all of my soul runes can get me a decent level and a fair amount of Grenwall spikes for extreme ranging potions. I managed to get to 80 hunter pretty easily from 77. Now that I've unlocked 5 traps, it should be even faster experience. But it was time to take a break and go back to God Wars Dungeon 2 to try my luck. Something that's rather important when starting off God Wars Dungeon 2 is getting bounties. You can get bounties from this guy, and whenever you trade one in, you get 150 reputation in the one that you've chose to fight for. It's really useful to try and get 50% reputation for a very high drop chance increase. Getting from 0% to 50% rep is not actually that difficult and it increases your drop chance heavily, so it's very advised to do as many contracts as you possibly can. You can do 1 contract a day and it stacks up to 5, so you could do all 5 in a day and then come back 5 days later and do 5 more. It really would not take too long in order to get 50% in all different factions. I thought I'd try my luck with some Vindicta. Vindicta's way easier than Hellweird because there's legit nothing that can really kill you except for some flames, but you just sidestep it, you're instantly out of the flames. Hellweir seems to have more potential of actually KOing you. Although Vindicta only has 2 drops, so it's harder to actually get a drop that you need from Vindicta, and more likely you're going to get Anima Core. And I get enough Anima Core from Hellweir, so Vindicta is probably going to be even worse. If I could snag a Dragon Rider Lance, that was going to help this account so much though, so it's worth doing them whenever I can. Well, I've had 2 drops and they've both been Dormant Anima Core, so my next drop should be a drop, right? With all of my soul runes, I managed to get 86 Hunter, so I've got some nice Hunter gains in this video. Sadly, I ran out of soul runes shortly after I got 86 Hunter, but I did get a ton of Gremwall Spikes. I managed to get just over 5,000 Gremwall Spikes, which should definitely give me enough for all of the extreme rangings that I can make. During the melee Voice of Seren, you can get 20% more experience while making combination potions. So while it was the Voice of Seren, I thought I'd make the rest of my replenishment potions and get 20% more experience while doing so. It's not tons of extra experience because I didn't have that many replenishment potions to make, maybe like 300-400. But it really does add up over time, and any extra experience in Herblore for an Ironman I'll definitely take. Using my God Banner, I was able to boost to make around 700 extreme ranging potions, and that gave me a huge chunk of experience towards 91 Herblore, and when I hit 91 I can do Spicy Stews to +5 to get to 96 to make overloads. The last little tiny bit of experience I needed for 91 I did with Super Anti-Fires because I had some Anti-Fires sitting in the bank, so I just went and got some feathers and added them to the potions. So now it was time for another quest grind in order to get the Spicy Stews to boost. I had to do the Evil Dave part of Recipe for Disaster in order to boost with stews. I did the Cook's Assistant quest to then unlock Recipe for Disaster. Yes, I know, I hadn't done Cook's Assistant yet. With Cook's Assistant done, another Cook's quest was done after that, and that's the start of Recipe for Disaster. The only other thing I needed for the Evil Dave part for Recipe for Disaster was Shadow of the Storm, so I also completed that and got a Dark Light. Now that I had all of the things that I needed for Evil Dave's part of the quest, I went to Sears Village and bought loads of stews. I thought I'd buy a ton of stews just ready for when I'm boosting as well. I'm going to have to get a lot of brown spice and make spicy stews in order to boost Herblore anyway, so I might as well buy a ton while I'm here. Evil Dave's part of the quest was super easy. It was a bit tedious with catching the rats, but nothing too bad. Once I'd done that quest, I then could go into his cellar to catch rats for brown spice. But before I went to catch rats for brown spice, I wanted to do the rat catchers quest. Rat catchers is kinda needed if you're going to be catching a lot of rats, because if you get an overgrown cat, it can't catch any more rats. But if you've done rat catchers, you can come back here and then make it into a wily cat, so then it can catch rats again. If you haven't done rat catchers and you're catching rats and then your cat goes overgrown, once it's overgrown and it won't do anything for you. You would have to then grow a new cat, get rat catchers done and do it that way. So to eliminate that, I just went and done rat catchers, so if mine does ever get overgrown, I can easily just make it into a wily. Now it was time for the boring and tedious part. You had to get your cat to catch these rats over and over again. The only spices we need for Herblore boosts is brown spice. It can take a very long time to get brown spice because it could keep dropping all of the different colours that you don't need, and it drops anything between 1 and 4 doses, so it could just keep giving you 1 dose of brown spice every time and take ages to get enough. What you need to do is you need to add 3 doses of brown spice to a stew in order to allow it to give +5 in Herblore. But a stew is not guaranteed to give you +5. It could give you anywhere between -5 and +5. Putting 3 doses in the stew makes it a higher chance of giving you a better plus. So it is quite often that it will give you like a +4 or a +5, but because we're 91 Herblore, we need that +5 in order to do our overloads. This meant that I had to do this for a good hour or so just to get enough brown spice and stock up, just so I know that I have enough in order to boost my Herblore. I managed to get 23 doses of brown spice in about an hour. I wasn't super lucky, but then again I wasn't super unlucky either. So this is probably about the average you'll get. So all you gotta do is add 3 doses of the brown spice to a stew and it makes a spicy stew. You can't have more than 1 spicy stew at the same time. So once you've added your 3 doses, you have to get ready to then try and boost your Herblore. The best thing to do is make a preset before even trying to boost with a suit. Make sure that in your preset you have everything done for your overloads and it's all ticked off on the list, and then press your preset again just to make sure the inventory stays the same and you're good to go. So the best way, in my opinion, to do this is boosting with your God Banner. If you boost with your God Banner, here and there the stat will decrease and then go back up. As soon as you see the stat decrease, if you drink your stew, that means you know that's when it's just ticked over with stats going down. Because what can happen, if you drink your stew when your stats are just about to go down, it could give you a +5 boost, but then before you make any overloads at all, it could then drop down to 95. You really don't want this to happen, so you want to time it right. Having your God Banner up allows you to time it perfectly, because as soon as that Herblore level drops down, you know you have a good 30 seconds or so before it's going to drop down again. This means if you use your stew, you're going to have at least 30 seconds in order to make overloads before it drops down. Once you got your timing down and your stew gives you 96 Herblore, what I did is I made around 4 to 5 inventories of overloads and then I lobbied. When you lobby, it refreshes the timer, so then when you log in, you can make 4 to 5 more inventories, log out and repeat the process over and over again. I managed to do every single overload that I had supplies for with one boost just because I was lobbying after every 5 or so inventories. It worked out really well, and I definitely would advise doing this if you're trying to boost up on an Ironman or even on a normal account. Decanting all of the 3-dose overloads that I made into 4 doses, I got 239 4-dose overloads and an extra 1 dose on its own. At least we got quite a few overloads on this account to last a little while now when doing bossing and things like that. I'm going to get to 92 Herblore and then try and make holy overloads as well, because if I use the +5 boost it will give me 97 and I'll actually be able to make holies. But for now, normal overloads will do until I get the additional Herblore level. Either way, I hope you did enjoy this video. Give it a like if you did enjoy it. Subscribe if you're new for loads of future Runescape free content. I'm really enjoying the Hardcore Ironman right now, so I'm playing quite a lot on him. There'll be quite a lot of updates with the Hardcore Ironman, don't you worry about that. And until next time, see ya.